What's up guys? It's your daddy with a new video. Today we will make a simple trading bot with Python for Binance. So as we know, time is money, let's get right into it. First, a disclaimer, this is not financial advice and it's really just for educational purposes. So those are the imports we need, and here on the bottom you can see I simply get my Binance API and secret key. If you don't know how you can store your keys or even passwords securely, check out the video that will pop up now. Alright, and here in the next step we just connect to the Binance API and check if we are connected with the client time here. So if we get the response, we are connected. If you don't have the Binance API yet or don't know how to use it, check out the next video that will just pop up now, and there I will explain everything you need to know. So in the next step we simply define two parameters. We have the one for the buy order and for the sell order. So basically, yeah, that's it. You see, we trade Bitcoin. It's a market order, and we buy and sell 0.002 Bitcoins. Exactly, and then in the next step we have the get price function here. Here we simply trigger the ticker price from the Binance API for the Bitcoin USDT price. Alright, that was it with the preparation. So this is the whole bot. It's not really much code. I will just walk you through it. So to make it a bit easier, we can split this into three parts. We have the first part here, which is just the definition of a few variables that we will need. Then here we have the buy functionality, and here we have the sell functionality. And yeah, that's basically the structure of the whole bot. Basically here we start with a data frame where we just get the price that Bitcoin currently has. So we just have the column price, and we call the function that we just implemented and write it as the first entry. So next we specified a time frame of 20 here. We have a flag variable open position, which tells us if we currently have an open position or not, and we have a counter which will be explained later. You will later see why we need this. Then we have the threshold. So basically, if we make 0.1% profit or a loss of 0.1%, we sell. It's pretty simple. Then we have the entry variable here. That's just the threshold divided by 10, so basically 0.01%. The entry specifies if we when we want to buy the Bitcoin. So we are making the trend following strategy, and if the trend goes up for 0.01%, then we will buy. Alright, and the last two parameters are the buy order and sell order. Those are two empty lists in which we will save the orders so we can later check it. So let's get into the while loop. So we have an infinity loop here, and it will just iterate over and over. Then in the next line we get the price and store it in our data frame that we made here. Then in the next step we check if the length of this data frame is larger than the time frame. Why do we do this? Because here we have specified a time frame of 20. So this means that we will look back at the 20 dust prices and calculate the trend. But if we don't have 20 entries in this data frame, we can't calculate it. So this is why we have this if here, just to check, just to don't make a calculation we can't do. So then in the next step we check if we have an open position. We only want to buy if we don't have an open position. So this is checked here. In the next step we check the return that we have, or in other words the trend that we have. So it simply takes the data frame and the last 20 entries and calculates the percentage change. So basically this tells us the return that we have in the last 20 data points. Then we take the last return, so this is the same variable here. We take the last return, last valid index, and save it in the current return variable. Why do we do this? We do this to check here if the current return that we have in the 20 last data points is bigger than the entry that we have specified. The entry was 0.01% here. So basically we just check, okay, do we have a profit or an increase in the price that is larger than the 0.01%? If yes, then do everything in the if clause, and if not, just get the next price. So if our entry condition is met, we simply create a new order with the buy parameters. So basically we buy, we print out the response to see it in the console, we append it to our list that we have created here on the top. We set the flag, the open position flag, to true, which means okay, now we have an open position, so we don't buy another one. And here we define a counter which has the length of the data frame. In the next part you will see why we need this. Alright, so let's get to the second part. If we have an open position, we will not look to buy anymore, but now we will look at the else here. So what do we do here? First we calculate the return, just as we have seen it here. But now we don't calculate the return in the last 20 time frames. We calculate the return from the moment that we have bought till now. So that's what the counter is for. So we go into the data frame and then we look from the counter position until now, so all next steps. This is what the counter was here for. Then we get the return. Then next we check if we have more than one value in this variable here. If yes, we calculate, or we get the last valid index. So this will give us the current return that we have, just as we did it here. And then we simply check if the current return is larger than the threshold or lower than minus the threshold. So the threshold was specified here, it's 0.1%. So basically it just checks if we have a profit of more than 0.1% or if we have a loss of more than 0.1%. If one of this is true, we will simply trigger a new order with the sell params, so we will sell our assets. We print the response again, we append it to the sell order list and set the open position to false again, so that if we loop back, that we will go into this into this buy conditioning here. So as you have already seen, we override the data frame here. It's basically the same function as we have on top. So we basically delete the old data frame. And why do we do this? Because if we have a profit here, so if the current return is larger than the 0.1% threshold that we have specified, then we will sell. Alright, if we then loop back and go into this if here, it will always trigger because we will look at the last 20 data points and check if we have a 0.01% increase in the price. And we just sold right now for a 0.1% profit, so the probability is pretty high that in the last 20 time steps we had a higher return than 0.01. It is possible that we don't have it in the 20 time frames, but I think the probability is pretty low. So that's why we just delete or override the data frame here and wait to get to get 20 new data points. So that was basically it. I hope you could learn something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Today we didn't go into as much detail as in the other videos. Let me know in the comments how you liked it, if you liked the fast variant or if you want me to go more into detail. And yeah, see you soon.